Did you think getting good at chess is going to be easy? I did. I played for over 20 years and eventually became an international master and even beat world number 13. But my gosh, was it a grind. I really wish I could have done things smarter and gotten there faster. So to help you reach your chess goal 10 times easier, here are the key 5 lessons about improving at chess I wish I would have known sooner. And a little spoiler, the lesson number 5 is really the one that changed everything for me. So let's start with the first one, because that is a mistake I made for almost my entire life. Lesson number 1, improve your chess, not your rating. For years, I was a hostage to a number. I watched my rating obsessively, especially as a teenager. My own, my opponents, every tournament, title norms, and it stressed me so much that I couldn't concentrate on playing a game. I couldn't even enjoy playing chess. Then I finally understood something. If you focus on genuinely becoming a stronger chess player, calculating better, understanding your openings, improving your endgame technique, the rating will follow. It's inevitable. Here is the part that changed everything for me. Your rating is not something you can control, but your chess is. You cannot wake up and demand a higher rating, but you can wake up and do one thing that actually makes you better. A genuine training session, a few high-quality puzzles that you solve, a game that you play and analyze your mistakes afterwards. Think of the rating as the shadow and your body as your chess skill. Chase the shadow and it runs away, but focus on growing the body and the shadow will grow automatically. So especially when you're starting out or you feel stuck at your current level, just stop staring at the rating. Moreover, when you start working hard on your chess, do not expect a success overnight. Think about it. You rebuild the entire way you think about chess, you play chess, so you might even drop some points in the beginning. But give it some time, stay consistent, and you're gonna be shocked by the progress you make. But once I stopped chasing the number, I ran into the second problem that nobody has taught me. Lesson 2. Don't play the cards, play the man. I used to think chess is all about finding the right move. It's not. I was obsessed with engine evaluations. Oh my god, this move is 0.5 instead of 0.3, advantage for me, so I have to memorize it, come to the game, shock my opponent, play it, and then suddenly I have no idea what to do next. Chess is not about making perfect moves. And you never play chess alone. It's all about making your life as easy as possible and your opponent's life as miserable as possible. Think about it. If your opponent never makes mistakes, you can never win. Now, you do not sit there and hope for him to make a mistake. You create conditions that force him to make one. The more problems you set him, the harder the decisions he has to make, the more time he has to spend, and the higher your chances are. The engine evaluations matter far less than you think. This is exactly what my opening recommendations on this channel are built on. People come to the comments and say, this opening is not great because the engine doesn't like it. Who cares what the engine says? Take the Philidor defense for black, for example. The engine is not a big fan of it, but I feel confident playing it. I am never lost. I save a lot of time. I know the middle game plans. I don't care if my opponent plays a move that I haven't expected. I have so much experience in it. And I confuse my opponent. He's like, why is he playing so fast? What am I supposed to do? He barely has seen it because nobody plays it, as the engine doesn't recommend it. And that is what really matters, making life hard for your opponent, not pleasing the engine. Now, even if I understood that, there was one thing that kept breaking me, and it took an elite grandmaster to fix it for me. Lesson 3. Losing is essential. For years, one loss could ruin my entire tournament. I played well as long as everything went fine, winning boosted my confidence, and everything was great. But the moment I started losing, it was like the end of the world. And it was even worse. as a teenager. One loss and I kept losing without an end. My confidence was gone and it felt like I could not continue. But once I had a chance to ask an elite grandmaster how he handles so many losses and still keep going. He told me that you just have to think about it as a part of the process. You can never become a great champion or even a decent chess player if you never lose. In fact, this one single game that you play today doesn't even matter that much if you consider the entire big journey. That completely shifted my perspective. I played a huge tournament in Warsaw in 2017 and I got 0 points out of 4. I lost all my games. Moreover, in the 4th game, I blundered a checkmate in 2 in the opening. It was so embarrassing that I quit the tournament. I just could not handle it anymore and I was about to quit chess altogether. But there was just one little problem. In just 1 week, I had another classical tournament scheduled, everything booked, paid for, so I just had to play. But somehow my mindset has shifted. I thought, I already have lost everything, so much ratings, so many games, it just cannot get any worse. I mean, you cannot score less than 0 points, right? So at that moment, I just stopped caring about the result altogether. I have played the best tournament of my entire life, beat grandmasters and scored the first international master norm in my life. What's more, at that moment, I truly believed that everything is possible. But this lesson only works if you combine it with the next one. Lesson 4. Analyze every game you play. A game you do not analyze is a lesson you have paid for and threw it away. If you play a game and do not analyze it afterwards, just waste an opportunity to learn something new and improve. For me, when I play my real tournament games, the number one thing I rely on is the analysis I have done on my previous games. The patterns that I have identified in the opening, the middle game, the end game technique. When I play a game, I invest like 5 hours to deeply think about the situations that happen, how to solve those problems. And then I have this chance to check whether my decision-making process actually makes sense, where it was faulty, and how I can fix it. And those conclusions I make help me tremendously in the next games. If you do not analyze the games you play, you keep repeating the same mistakes over and over, and you never improve. When I was a teenager, my coach, a very strong grandmaster, insisted that I deeply analyze my games. I comment every single move that I have made. And I thought it's so boring. As every teenager, I have thought I'm the smartest. I have checked the engine evaluation. I have understood my mistakes, so let's just move on. But the problem is, if you only do that, it doesn't stack, you forget about it, and you keep making the same mistakes. But when you go deep into it, that's what's making a real difference, and it skyrocketed my chess rating. This is exactly why I analyze my students' games in my academy every single week to help them understand what's holding them back and the fastest way to overcome it. If you want my help improving your chess instead of wasting years like I did, the link to my training programs is going to be in the description. But even all of these 4 lessons combined would still not make me an international master without the next one that truly changed everything. Lesson number 5. Never give up. I have won games that should have been totally impossible. I cannot tell you how many times I kept playing when every single normal chess player would resign, go home, and try to forget about this game as fast as possible. Here is the best example. I have just 1 minute on the clock. I play black in this classical tournament chess game, and I have 1 pawn against 3 in the rook's endgame. 0 chance at all to even save it, not even talking about winning. But instead of resigning or just making automatic moves, to wait for your opponent to beat you, I kept creating as many problems for my opponent as I could. Have given him checks, I was attacking all his pawns, making it as hard as possible for him to convert his advantage. And it worked. At first he was shuffling around, and at some point he decided he has to sacrifice the pawn just to start going ahead with his pawns. But now I had my counterplay, I had a passer, so I started to push it forward like crazy, just use my chances, that's all I can do. And at some point, it turned out he cannot stop my pawn anymore. And now I have got a queen, and he said, okay, let's make a draw, you have earned it, I spoiled everything. And it was still not enough for me. I was trying my best. He was like, okay, everything is protected. What do you want from me? But I kept giving those checks. I kept creating problems. And at some point I tricked him. And now he was in the corner here. He has no moves. So he has to move either his rook or his pawns. And that creates new weaknesses for him. And so in the end of the day, I managed to win that pawn. Here he resigned. He completely collapsed. And I told him, wait, but you can play rook f4. You can still play it for like 50 more moves. It's really tough to win with the queen against the rook. He was so fed up with chess at that moment that he had seen enough and just wanted to stop this madness. But this does not apply to just one chess game. It's my entire life philosophy. When I was in a high school, I had a really brutal math teacher. Well, brutal comparing to the Western world standards, but pretty normal for Ukraine. She thought that her math course is the most important thing in the world and nothing else matters. And I was trying to improve my chess. I played some tournaments, so I missed some school days. But once I was back, she was totally furious. She said, "You're not Garry Kasparov. Why do you waste your time doing that? You might as well quit and do something that is truly important in life." And apparently that were her lessons. But fortunately enough, I'm kind of person that the more people tell me not to do something, the more I want to actually do it. Sometimes that backfires, but it helped me to stick to what I believe is right, and it changed my entire life, and that's why I'm here. By the way, of course I have got an A for my final math exam just to annoy my teacher. Now, if you want to do this one thing that genuinely makes you a stronger chess player, watch this video next, where I show you a simple 20-minute daily routine to bring your calculation skill to the next level.